A recent BC Court of Appeal ruling has the city in a scramble. The ruling redefines how councillors could be in a conflict of interest by sitting on non-profit boards. Last night, council took the first step in ensuring one councillor in particular was covered.
The Canada Winter Games Host Society is the first local non-profit organization to be affected by the BC Court of Appeal decision because of the potential of a conflict of interest. Councillor Lynn Hall has resigned from its board.
It looked as if, because the Court of Appeal decision came down the way it did as a result of the Salt Spring case, it was just felt that it would just be much easier if I resigned the position from the board. And I think it makes things easier for the 2015 board, it makes things easier for council.
2 paragraphs of the ruling are what have municipalities concerned. Paragraph 34 reads, "The object of the legislation is to prevent the elected officials from having divided loyalties in deciding how to spend the public's money. In the past, there was no conflict if there was no personal financial benefit to sitting on the board of a non-profit agency. But paragraph 50 essentially says a councillor cannot serve 2 masters, regardless of personal interest."
I think in the circumstances it's prudent for Councillor Hall to have resigned from that board. It is a precautionary measure, but in the circumstances I think it's a prudent thing to do. Council did appoint Councillor Hall to that board of directors, and that's the reason why it came back to council for consideration.
The decision could impact how councillors participate with non-profits in the future.
Elected officials now more than ever, I think, will have to be cautious about participating in or voting on a matter that comes before their elected board when they are also serving as a director on a non-for-profit society. They would need to consider that in even greater detail, I think, now before deciding whether they can participate or not.
Hall says councillors are involved in non-profit agencies because they want to be linked to the community. It also provided the non-profits with a direct tie to council.
You know, that may in fact be problematic down the road for some councils, but in every community there's a group of volunteers, there's a group of people that step up. And I think in this case we felt, and had been felt for a long time, that we wanted city representation on the 2015 Games board. And unfortunately, we are where we are today.
The list of other non-profit organizations that could be impacted is lengthy and includes such things as the Omineeca Beetle Action Coalition and the North Central Local Government Association. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.